Frozen Wings, the complete story of Air Florida, Flight 90's tragedy and heroism. Chapter 1. A Capital Locked in Ice. Washington, D.C. awoke on January 13, 1982 to its worst snowstorm in decades. By noon, nearly 7 inches blanketed the city, paralyzing roads and shutting down Reagan National Airport. Air Florida's Flight 90, a Boeing 737-222 scheduled for Fort Lauderdale, sat at Gate 12, accumulating ice as passengers boarded. Captain Larry Wheaton, 34, reviewed weather reports showing temperatures stuck at 24 degrees. With freezing drizzle continuing. Chapter 2. The Fateful De-icing. At 2:45 p.m., ground crews began de-icing procedures. Records later showed critical errors. Workers used a 50-50 water glycol mix instead of the required 100% glycol solution. The crew never activated the aircraft's own anti-ice systems. First Officer Roger Pettit, 31, expressed concerns about ice buildup visible on the wings. But the captain dismissed them, saying it'll blow off during takeoff. Chapter 3. Takeoff into darkness. At 3:59 p.m., Flight 90 began its takeoff roll on runway 36. From the first moment, something felt wrong. The plane required 25% more runway than normal to reach rotation speed. As the nose lifted, Pettit noted the airspeed indicators reading 20 knots below target. His final words captured on the CVR were, "Larry, we're not climbing," before the stall warning blared. Chapter 4. Impact and Implosion. At 4:01:13 p.m., the left wing struck the 14th Street Bridge's guardrail, shearing off the wingtip and killing 4 motorists instantly. The fuselage cartwheeled across the ice-covered river before plunging through the surface. The violent impact compressed the cabin, trapping most passengers in their seats as freezing water rushed in. Only the tail section remained above water, its jagged edges providing the sole escape route. Chapter 5. The Survivor's Agony. 6 people clawed their way to the surface. Joe Stiley, a corporate executive with broken ribs. Priscilla Tirado screaming for her drowned infant. Flight attendant Kelly Duncan. Nikki Felch, a 22-year-old newlywed. Bert Hamilton, a government worker. Arland Williams, a bank examiner. They formed a trembling human chain in water so cold it induced paralysis within minutes. The Chapter 6. The Rescue Ballet. At 4:20 p.m., Park Police Helicopter Eagle 1 arrived. Pilot Donald Usher faced impossible conditions. Visibility under 1 to 4 miles in snow. No rescue hoist equipment. Survivors losing consciousness. For 30 minutes, Usher and paramedic Gene Windsor performed precision, hovering just feet above the water, while survivors grabbed ropes. When Priscilla Tirado lost her grip, bystander Lenny Skutnik dove in, swimming 30 yards through ice chunks to drag her ashore. Chapter 7. The Final Sacrifice. Arland Williams demonstrated extraordinary courage, repeatedly passing rescue lines to others despite his injuries. When the helicopter returned for him, he had disappeared beneath the ice. His body was recovered days later, autopsy showing he'd survived nearly an hour in the water before succumbing. Chapter 8. Recovery and Identification. divers worked in zero visibility to recover victims from the submerged wreckage. The cockpit voice recorder was found embedded in river sediment, revealing the crew's final moments. Forensic teams needed dental records to identify many victims due to prolonged immersion. Chapter 9. The Investigation. NTSB findings shocked the aviation industry. 1. Crew failed to set proper engine thrust. Used reverse thrust reference. 2. Critical ice accumulation on wings. Estimated 1.5 inches. 3. No use of engine anti-ice systems. 4. First officer's concerns ignored. Chapter 10. The Human Toll. Funerals stretched across weeks. Survivor Joe Stiley underwent 23 surgeries for his injuries. Priscilla Tirado never recovered from losing her husband and baby. Flight attendant Kelly Duncan returned to flying, but quit after 6 months, haunted by passengers' screams. Chapter 11. Industry Revolution. The disaster transformed aviation safety. Mandatory cockpit voice recorders on all commercial flights. Revised de-icing procedures and checklists. New pilot training for winter operations. Stricter oversight of ground operations. Chapter 12. Legacy of Courage. Today, memorials at Arlington Cemetery and the crash site honor the victims. The 14th Street Bridge was reinforced with new safety barriers. The rescue techniques pioneered that day became standard procedure worldwide.